about all things emergency recovery. Okay, well, now we shift to politics proper, and my guest this time is Honorable Efe Ofobuku. Honorable Efe Ofobuku is a two-time member of the Delta House of Assembly. He is the former special advisor to Governor Kowa on legislative matters, an APC chieftain, and he's here to talk about the governorship race coming up in his home Delta State. Of course, the candidate of APC in his state is the Deputy Senate President, Senator Omo Agege. I forgot I'm a Yoruba man, yes. Because as a Yoruba man, I would have said Omo Agege, but it's not.
It's not Omo Agege, it's Agege.
Omo Agege.
Agege's son.
But it means Agege's son.
Yes.
Okay. You're very welcome, Honorable. And so it's needless to say, but maybe let me just ask the formulaic question. How do you see the chances of your man, the Deputy Senate President Omo Agege, in this quest?
Very, very bright.
What is his toughest challenge?
Well, the toughest challenge I think we have right now is the fact that our opponents in the election, they are beginning to pose as a security threat to the voters. In recent times, they have asked their thugs and their assassins to go around in places like Ekpan community, my community, in places like PTI Junction, where you have a Unit 5, announcing that election day, if you are not coming out to vote for PDP, don't come, otherwise, whatever you see, you'll get. There will be threats of attacks,
Really?
Of maiming, killing, and all of that, to put fear in the minds of the voters, because they know that once the voters get to the ballot box, that is the end of the matter. You will recall that in the last couple of years, this is the first time that truly that PDP in Delta State is going for elections. They are used to the carry-go type of election. When I say carry-go type of election, it means writing of results. That's what they have done in the last 24 years. I have contested elections against PDP twice.
Okay.
Twice I have defeated them. So I know the struggle to unseat them.
So you're saying that the other issue of concern now, which I'm sure you must have advised the security agencies about, is the matter of threats of violence.
Yes, threats of violence.
Political.
Yes, the Delta State APC campaign, the council, they have a department that is handling that. We're escalating it already to the various agencies of government to look into it and come to our aid to make sure that the voters are protected, the ballot is secured, and people cast their vote unhindered, and the result is declared.
So what is Omo Agege running on?
Fantastic. Let me liken it to Moses in the Bible. You will recall that Moses lived and grew up in the palace of Pharaoh. But when the time came for him to lead his people out of Egypt, he had to leave the palace. Incidentally, distinguished Senator Omo Agege cut his teeth politically under PDP. Of course, then there was no APC. So he worked with the PDP government as an appointee for some time, where I am very sure he learned the job of governance. But when the time came for him to lead the people of Delta Central Senatorial District that he represents today in the Senate, like I mentioned earlier, he had to leave the palace. He went to Labour Party. He ran for Senate for the first time on the platform of Labour Party, and he won. And since then, he has been marching on with various development strides, ranging from bills that have been passed, motions to his credit in the Senate, and of course, it's on record that the much talked about Orogun Polytechnic, Federal Polytechnic Orogun today, was a bill he conceptualized. It was passed. It was graciously signed into law by His Excellency, Mr. President. Mr. President has also released funds for the takeoff of that polytechnic. The polytechnic is, I can tell you, it's about 80% completed.
Okay.
They have appointed principal staff of the polytechnic already. Right now, the polytechnic has put up advert for recruitment. They are employing people, and I'm very sure by September this year, the will take off with academic activities. That is one of his star projects. There's also the oil and gas industrial park that he has brought to his senatorial district that is being built between Eku and Abraka. I think right now, perfection of documents for the land that has been acquired is ongoing. In a moment from now, there will be a groundbreaking ceremony for that oil and gas industrial park. Then there's also, of course, for the first time in Nigeria, a senator was able to light up every community in his senatorial district. He put solar power street lights in every community in his senatorial district. He also tried to improve the power supply situation in the senatorial district when he distributed transformers across the senatorial district in every community. He also built ICT centers in different schools across the senatorial district, apart from road repairs, many federal roads that were in disrepair.
And you spoke about transformers. What, with public funds or his own personal funds?
Oh, fantastic. Those transformers and the various projects that I've mentioned, he influenced their project. Of course, it's federal government. He's in the federal government, but he was able to use his position and office to influence the installation of those transformers across the senatorial district, as well as the solar panel street lights and building of ICT centers in schools, and of late, equally constructed a computer-based testing center where students can go into take JAMB exams, as the case may be.
At this stage, let me bring in Mr. George, who has called in from Lagos. Good morning to you, Mr. George. Good morning, Mr. George.
Good morning, Uncle. Can you hear me?
Yes, now I can hear you. Thank you.
Okay. Uncle, you kindly permit me to start from your previous segment.
Okay, but very briefly, because we have a guest here and we're talking about something else, so it's not really cool to, keep him waiting.
Yes, what I would just simply say about that is that what the man presented is known, and those critical facilities in Lagos is the more reason why Lagos must not be allowed to slip into the hands of an angry mob that have nothing to offer. That's just what I wanted to say.
Okay. All right then. For Delta, how about for Delta State?
For Delta, the Deputy Senate President, I think this is about his third bid, trying to become the governor. My friend that lives in Warwick was making comparisons. The project that Omagige has in Delta State, he let me ask your question. There are so many. How did he get the money to fund them? There are so many.
Well,
you can even say beat that of the governor.
Okay. Thank you very much for calling in. Well, you heard the inquiry.
Of course. What he has said with regards to the projects executed by His Excellency the Deputy Senate President is not far from the truth. That is just the situation we have. He has been able to leave his footprint in every community in his senatorial districts, apart from mega projects like the Federal Polytechnic that is now sited in Orogun, the oil and gas industrial park that I talked about. Of course, they have succeeded in fixing a lot of failed federal roads, and work is still ongoing. He equally influenced the complete reconstruction of St. George's College, Obinomba. Incidentally, that happens to be his alma mater. I'm emphasizing this because our opponent, who is running against us, has no alma mater. So you cannot actually trace him to any institution that he has attended. And the people of Delta, they know this. So that is why it was important that I mentioned what has happened at St. George's Grammar School. But then, primarily talking about legislative business, the duty of a lawmaker is to make law for order, peace, and good governance. That is what the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, as amended, provides for. He has equally been involved in a lot of bills sponsored by him that have been passed, apart from motions. If I'm not mistaken, he has the highest number of bills and motions in the present 9th Senate. So he's somebody who has done his job. He has even, in fact, he has raised the bar. Okay. Anybody coming after him has a lot of work to do. I do not envy my friend and brother who just won the senatorial elections now. on the platform of APC that is going to take over from him.
Because he has his work cut out for him.
Yes, there's a lot of work.
Okay, let me bring Reverend Dominic calling in from Alimosho. Good morning to you, sir.
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Please, can you give me 10 seconds to backward of what we discussed earlier?
All right. It's inevitable. Mr. George started that out.
I will give you a story how Lagos works perfectly. My car was arrested last year because he was caught in camera for that I breached roadworthiness. And they asked me to go for test. When I went to test, honestly, the young man showed me my car in his handset on 23rd December 2002 that I moved out while my paper expired in June. He gave me judge to pay 40,000, roadworthiness and my papers. I said, Lagos is working, Nigeria is working. But what happened the other day? My wife asked me, how do we get what happened? I said, surely there was a camera on that road, on that lane. But to my shock, there was no single camera on that particular area. That is the capital of Lagos State. We don't need to. I saw a Lagos State government official asking a woman what happened. How could we ask him to the first century of Lagos? What happened? Where are we supposed to have camera that will pick everything that happened?
Okay, I think we lost Reverend Dominic because so sorry about that. He was talking about some of the advancements in Lagos. And by the way, it could be relevant because you know all about this. I mean, let's face it. Any such plans at modernization? Are there any areas of modernization that are worthy of comment in the works that Senator Omagege, is also thinking about?
Of course, having discovered that we are lagging behind in terms of infrastructure among the Committee of States, it is one of the major reasons why our people are clamoring for Omagege to come and take charge of the of affairs of the state so that we can begin to move at a pace that is commensurate with what we see elsewhere. It is true that in the last couple of years, it has been a particular political party, PDP, that has held sway. If you ask me, we have seen their best. We've had a governor from 1999 to 2007 who studied economics. From that, we had a medical doctor. From that medical doctor to another medical doctor, all PDP. But unfortunately, for 2023, they are offering us a man who says what he has is street credibility and excess local content. So we did introspection. We are asking ourselves, if the task is not easy for those with robust CV, with quality education, we do not believe that it would be easy for a man with excess local content or street credibility. Because just like you mentioned, what we have seen in Lagos is not happening courtesy of street credibility or excess local content. It's happening as a result of deep thinking, proper planning, and long-term projection. And that's what we want to see in Delta State. Okay. That is why we have resolved that the right man for the job in 2023 as it stands. And it's not just my resolution. It is the people of Delta State. This is not me. You need to come and feel the pulse of the people. Okay. What happened on the 25th? Citizens across some parts of the country were shouting, Obi or whatever, and they went all out. The same spirit is what is in Delta at the moment. The people, the atmosphere is charged, the people are charged up, they are eager, they are waiting for Saturday to come and cast their vote for a governor they believe in. Okay. This time around, it is going to be surely and purely government of the people, for the people, and by the people.
Okay. Good morning, Mr. Yakub. Thank you for holding on in Dokwemu.
Good morning, sir.
Thank you for calling.
And good morning to your guest.
Yes. Good morning.
I don't have that in my mind. We that in Lagos, I believe that a lot of us that a friend of the house normally call him, we know who Omagege is. Because when we are talking about politicians in this country, I think is one of one that you will never think twice before you remember his name. Why?
But Mr. Mr. Yakub, they said it's not Omagege. They say it's not Omagege. It's Omagege. Omagege.
Yori, forget whether it's Omagege or no Omagege. Omagege here, it will make Omagege popular. Because a lot of us, even in fact, it takes a long time before I believe that it is not from Agege.
Yeah.
Because the name sounds like
it does sound like the Agege we all know, and him being a son of Agege.
Exactly. But sorry, I'm saying that. You see, I don't have doubt in my mind. You see, if you know the antecedent of Omagege, from if somebody can win a Senate seat, being a Labour person, first time, that time, because when he won that election to the National Assembly, it was one of the senators that single under the party of Labour Party at that time. So, since that, the way that Omagege is now become APC, is one of focal senators in the House. And then it is see, maybe people don't know this. It is also a party man, because he believes what party says. That is what happened at that time. In fact, I think kudos for what happened at that time, which I don't want to mention. He played a very, very good role because he believes in what party says. Before some people beginning to play abracadabra. See.
Okay. I think somehow it dropped. Okay, he's referring back to the antecedent of Senator Omagege, because, and in particular, it's important always, but perhaps even now more than ever, that he's a party person. He's a party man.
Yes.
He's a team player.
Yes, he is. The fact that he's a team player is one of the things that has endeared him to a lot of. If you have been following the politics of Delta State in the last 2 weeks, there has been a lot of movement, political movement. People decamping from PDP to APC, from PDP to APC, from PDP to APC, primarily because they want to be part of the making of history on the 18th of March to support of your Maggie.
You've had a number of defections?
A whole lot from PDP. Big names, former secretary to the state government and incumbent director general of Warri Uriye Development Area Agency, the person of Comrade Ovuzore Macaulay, who was also one time state chairman of Nigeria Labour Congress. They came just last week. He resigned his office, his position as DG of a major agency of the present administration, gave up his membership of PDP, and is now in APC. All is to join hands to make sure that we retrieve our state, we take back our state, and set it on a path of development and progress.
So I've discerned that you really are in an optimistic mood for the Saturday event. That you've done your work, you've done the campaigning, you maybe, I don't know, door to door. You must have taken it very, very seriously, because people wanted to start going by the presidential election results and say that, look, what the numbers said there, they're not going to be very different here. First of all, that notion, in closing, what would you say about that whole notion? Okay,
first of all, if you look at the outcome of the elections on the 25th of February, every state in Nigeria, apart from the FCT, has 3 senatorial districts. Mm-hmm. I can tell you, as of today, we have 2 of those senatorial districts in our kitty. In the senatorial elections, we won 2 senatorial seats. Delta State, APC, not another party. Mm-hmm. And of course, we know what transpired in the governor's Delta North senatorial district. Otherwise, that would have gone to another party as well. So that puts us on the right path. And again, there's this popular saying that every politics is local. The governorship election also involves House of Assembly election. Now, it is local politics that we'll be talking about here. Mm-hmm. The gladiators are domiciled in the state. The gladiators are within the state. There are people, we know their homes, we have access to them, we can talk to them. So the indices on this occasion is completely different. The people who were agitated for the presidential, what we are seeing today is that a lot of Deltans are yearning for good governance. Some of them felt for the presidency, Obi represents that. But in Delta, majority are saying that for the governorship, distinguished senator of Omagege represents good governance, the face of good governance.
We've got to go now, but I want to thank you, Honorable Efe Ofobuku, two-time member of the Delta State House of Assembly, APC chieftain. Thank you for coming along to speak with us.
It's my pleasure anytime.
And that's our program today. Please join us tomorrow for a fresh edition. I'm Yori Folari. Bye-bye for now.